أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. And Kushal Mubarak, we have a very special day today, 15th of Shaban. I know some communities did yesterday, but majority of us did today, the day of, I hope you had time to also perform the Amal last night. May Allah accept the Amal. And it is always important that as we pray for ourselves, our families, we should not forget people who are suffering, in occupied Palestine, in Sudan, the Rohingya Muslims. There are Muslims in China also who have been jailed, in prison, right? Muslims suffering in Kashmir, and the Shia suffer in Lebanon, in Bahrain, in Hijaz, other places. So please make sure that we pray for them also. And most probably, the best thing would be to pray before, pray for them ahead of ourselves. And that way, inshallah, Allah would say this person is, what is concerned about the welfare of others ahead of himself. No? So it is important that we do that now. Yes, we are on. Anubai, we are on now. Okay, so as we said that today we'll discuss one of the du'as which we recited last night, just to give an idea, because it's a dua, beautiful dua. Many centers don't recite it. Even our center did not recite it because maybe they don't want to make things longer. But I remember when I was in Vancouver and Edmonton, we used to recite this dua. And later on, of course, I also tried to find its source. No, there is a source of it, and I was able to find in a book, Tibbul Imma by Abdullah Shubba, who's a great scholar. No? So very quickly, we'll just look at Bismillah ar-Rahman. This Bismillah and Salawat, which is not part of the dua itself, but usually we recite, it is etiquette of dua. That we start with Bismillah and then Salawat and end with Salawat. So you'll find that in our books we write it there, but it's just as a kind of what etiquette, okay? Allahumma innak azimun du anat. Allah, you are mighty of patience and perseverance. Du anat. Wala taqatna li hukmika. We have no strength to bear your judgment. When what Allah decides, no, there is no way that we can bear it. Ya Allahu, Ya Allahu, Ya Allah, Allah, O Allah, O Allah. We say 3 times. Al-Aman, Al-Aman, Al-Aman. Now, by now you know, right? You can see that I put Fatah on first Al-Aman, but I did not put Fatah in the second to Aman, because this is Hamzatul Wasl. Remember, they will say that this is Hamza, which is just there. It's only pronounced if it is the beginning of the letter, otherwise it remains silent. So Al-Aman, Al-Aman, Al-Aman. Okay? This is Hamza after the Al, which we have got, for example, in a definite article Al. Lam, Sakin, that alif which is there in Al is a silent alif. It is only pronounced when it begins begin the sentence. Otherwise, if you just continue, then it just remains silent. So, Al-Aman, Al-Aman, Al-Aman. No, peace or safety, 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 grant us safety, Min al-ta'uni wal-waba, from plague, epidemics, موت الفجأة, and accidental death. وسوء القضاء وشماتة الأعداء, and for evil ending and taunting of enemies. And then, of course, the dua beautifully ends with ayat of Quran. رَبَّنَا كْشِفْ عَنَّا الْعَذَابَ إِنَّا مُؤْمِنُونَ. Oh Allah, free us from the punishment. Indeed, we are believers. No? So it's a beautiful dua. Sheikh Abdullah Shubbar says in his book that this dua should be recited 21 times during pandemic or any kind of difficulties, plague, you find if it's there, it should be recited. So I thought that I'll just share with you. You can, of course, will be the part of slides, so you can then download and just keep it in your phone. Sometimes you can read it, you can ask, family who are going through some kind of difficulties, they can recite this thing. Now we come to that accusative, but nominative, accusative, genitive, right? Now keep in mind that we have not covered all the cases. In our book, for example, if you see in our book, we are just now, today we'll be covering, inshallah, lesson number 17. But if you see lesson 22 in our book. So if we go to lesson 22, which inshallah will come in the next course, Arab of nouns in the form of fatah or fatatain, right? You can see, if you go to page 64, she says Arab of nouns in the form of fatah and fatatain. Arab as ismul mansubat. So mansub is accusative, mansubat is plural, accusative. So in that particular chapter, you will see there are cases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And 5 also has another 3 cases, right? 5 has another 5 cases, and 6, 7, 8, right? So you can see there are 8 different cases when there'll be accusative. You see? So keep in mind that we have not covered everything. We'll come to it. Just now we have only covered when nominative comes, which I gave you two reasons. One was nominative is default, right? For example, if your name is Fatima, say Ismi Fatimatun. We say Ismi Muhammadun, right? We don't say Ismi Muhammadin. We don't say Ismi Muhammadan. Ismi Muhammadun, of course, we write Ismi Muhammad, right? So the default is always nominative, right? And then in case if it is mubtada, if you take, for example, a nominative sentence, which we did earlier in one of the chapters, I think lesson 15, or nominative sentence, or lesson 11, 12, it starts with nominative. For example, Muhammadun Rasulullah, Aliyun Waliyullah, right? Mubtada and khabar. So in that case also we said it is nominative. So just now we only covered 2 cases of nominative. But later on, when you come to chapter 22, you will see we cover all those 8 cases before, So we have not covered all those things, keep in mind. Secondly, of course, when it comes to accusative, we gave you again only 2 reasons, right? Two ways. One is if it's preceded by inna or anna. Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu. Right? So that brings about accusative. Or if it's a direct objective. Warisa Sulaimana Dawood. Warisa Sulaimana Dawood, right? That Dawood inherited Sulaiman. So you'll find that when it is an object, direct object, it is accusative. So we have just only 2 cases, but we'll come to it later on more. And genitive also will give you 2 cases. One was if it is preceded by preposition, and second is mudaf ilayh, right? So those are the cases we have done so far. But it does not mean that it's exhaustive. There are other cases, we'll come to it gradually. So I know some of you have been emailing me, asking me, what about this thing? What about this thing? What are this? Of course, I try to answer your email, but keep in mind that we have not covered all those things. We will cover over time. The reason, of course, is that if you cover everything, all these things at the time, we'll get confused. It's always do things gradually, and we are following a text. We will just go with the text. Okay. So here is this table. If you can master this table and understand, you know more than even required. Subhanallah. See, so first of all, the first 3 cases is muzakkar, is masculine, right? Nominative, accusative, genitive. Then muannas, again, nominative, accusative, genitive. So this is a gender. Then these are the cases: nominative case, accusative case, genitive case. Okay. So what I did, I also added an additional column from compared to last week. What I did, I differentiated between what definite, indefinite case. So al-mu'minu, right? You can see because it is definite, al-mu'minu, there is no tanween, right? All of you know about that by now, right? So al-mu'minu or mu'minun. So if it is definite, we say al-mu'minun. And if it's indefinite, we say al-mu'minun. So the sign of nominative is dhamma or dhammatain. Are you with me, all of you? Is that anybody understand this thing? Everybody? See? So al-mu'minu, the believer, is a definite case. Okay, it is just the nominative here is dhamma, singular. Do you see dhamma? Mu'minun, the nominative sign is what? Dhammatain, right? This is because this is indefinite, this is definite. No difference in changing, only because al-mu'minun means the believer, mu'min means a believer. Is that clear? And whenever you change indefinite to definite, it loses the tanween. That is understood, right? So this is nominative singular. Then we come to accusative. Al-mu'mina, that is accusative. Mu'minan, okay? Now again, this is a rule that fatatain always is followed by alif, except in ta marbuta. If this ta marbuta if this fatatain on ta marbuta, it doesn't need alif. But besides alif, all the letters which have fatatain is followed by alif. Okay, so we say mu'minan. So al-mu'mina is the accusative form. Mu'minan is accusative but indefinite. So for example, innal mu'mina, no, indeed the believer. Innal mu'mina salihun. Indeed the believer is righteous, no? So if we say inna, because of inna, mu'minu, al-mu'minu salihun. Right? A believer is a righteous person. But innal mu'mina salihun. You see? But indeed the believer is a righteous person. Because of inna, it becomes mu'mina. Are you with me? Mu'mina. And if it is indefinite, it's mu'minan. So just now we are just dealing singular. Okay. Then mu'mini. No. Min al mu'mini. No. Hada kalamun min al mu'minin. This speech is from believer. Min al mu'mini. Okay. Because of min, it becomes genitive because preposition min. If it is, hada kalamun min mu'minin. No, mu'minin. It means from a believer. So al-mu'mini is the believer, mu'minin is a believer. But this is nominative, this is accusative genitive. Is that clear? Anybody has question about this one? We just discussed about masculine cases. Any questions about that?
Can I ask something?
Bismillah, sure.
You were saying, okay, for the singular indefinite, and we used for accusative, you said innal mu'minan
Yes.
salihan. So I'm thinking when you said the next word salihan, is that then salihan or salihun? It will follow the same.
If it's khabar, no. If salian is an adjective, then it will follow the same. If the salian is a khabar, then it will be. You will see if you go back to our lesson on nominal sentence. Okay, so let's go to lesson number. Okay, so you see, go to lesson number, I think it's 11 or 12.
Nominal sentence is in 13.
Yeah, okay, 13. So you can see what is the khabar there, right? You can see that the first noun, subject is called mubtada, right? And the second noun is predicate, khabar, right? So you can see, and we are told that wa antum muslimun. So it is, if it is khabar, then it will be nominative. But if it is adjective, then it will follow the noun.
Okay.
Yeah. So depending what it is, but what I'm trying to say that if you just understand this concept, we added an extra column here because you can see that dominative is represented by dhamma or dhammatain, accusative is represented by fatha and fathatain, and then it is represented by kasra and kasratain. So I'll give you both the example that both still are nominative, but this is definite, this is indefinite. Is that clear? And this was masculine. Okay. And then now comes to same thing, but mu'annas. No. Now is feminine. So al-mu'minatu. Mu'minatun. Al-mu'minatu, mu'minatun. Al-mu'minatu, the believing woman. No? Al-mu'minatun, a believing woman, right? A believing sister. Al-mu'minata. Mu'minatan. Do you see here, as I said, that all letters, when there is a fathatain, there is alif after that, except ta marbuta. Do you see here, mu'minatan, this is fathatain on ta marbuta, but there is no alif after that. You see? So we say mu'minan, we added alif here. Salihan, we added alif here. Nuhan, last week, for example, we did Nuhan or no, had a alif, right? So in the same way, but here, mu'minatan, because it's ta marbuta, it just is, there's no alif there. Mu'minat. Al-mu'minata, al-mu'minatan. Al-mu'minati, mu'minatin. Again, it is exactly same thing, except that there is a ta marbuta in all this case to make it feminine. which we are going to do today. Today, our lesson is more discuss about feminine and masculine, how to do. We'll get into detail about that. But just at this point in time, all of you know about this, right? That Muslim is a boy, Muslima is a girl. Remember, I told you that as a student of Quranic Arabic, you should never say that my daughter has become baligh. No, it should not come from you. You should say my daughter has reached bulugh, she has become baligha. Okay, so it is important. You can't say that marhum, my mother. You can't say like that. If you refer to your mother who has passed away, you say my mother marhuma, right? Because you know the difference between marhum and marhuma. So as a Quranic student, Arabic student, you should not say marhum Fatma or marhum Alia. You say marhuma Fatima, right? So it is important that you know the difference. Okay? So that was singular. And this is very straightforward. The same rule applies to also what broken plural. Okay, the same rule. Whatever you saw for the singular will also apply to broken plural. Because broken plural will be, is a word, for example, kitabun is a singular. Kutubun is broken plural, but it behaves like a singular. Okay, it does not have, for example, kutubuna, kutubin, no. Kitabun, kutubun. Kalamun, aklamun. Are you with me? So broken plural will behave exactly like singular when it comes to all these cases, nominative, accusative, genitive. Are you with me? It is only when it comes to dual, sound dual and sound plural, when some confusion comes, whereby there are all this kind of confusion. But of course, we are students, we are smart. Over time, we will learn them. Only when it comes to sound dual and sound plural, so you can see now, sound dual, mu'minun, mu'minun, mu'minani, mu'minani, okay, dual. And mu'minuna is plural in nominative form. Mu'minani, mu'minuna. This is accusative form. Now, for example, there is a famous hadith of Prophet Al-Hassan Hussein Imaman. Kama or Qa'ada, right? Imam Hassan and Hussein are Imam. Both of them are Imams. Al-Hassan Hussein Imaman. So he uses the word Imaman because mu'minan. Do you see? Imaman, that means two Imams. Kama or Qa'ada. Now this is a verb now. We want to come to verb, but this is a verb. Whether they are standing, that means they stand up and fight, or they rise and fight, or Qa'ada, or they sit and sign a peace treaty, right? So this is a hadith of Prophet. It says, Al-Hassan Hussein Imaman. Hassan Hussein are Imams. Kama, whether they rise and fight for a cause, or Qa'ada, or sit and sign a peace treaty, they are still Imams. You see? So mu'minan are two believers. Mu'minuna are believers in a nominative form. But then in accusative form, it is mu'minaini, mu'minaini. So when it comes to sound dual and sound plural, accusative and genitive are same. So we say innal mu'minina, right? Or minal mu'minina, both of them. Right? So if you say innal mu'minina, because of this inna is accusative, or min is a preposition, we still say innal mu'minina or minal mu'minina. Do you see? Because accusative and genitive are same. So although this is confusing, but at least the good thing is that there is no three cases like singular. There are only two cases, either nominative or accusative and genitive. Here we had three cases, right? Nominative, accusative, genitive. Here we have got nominative and accusative and genitive are same when it comes to dual, sound dual, sound dual and sound plural. Are you with me? So mu'minaini, mu'minina. In the same way, mu'minatani. Mu'minatani, it is same this thing mu'minatani, but because of this nun mu'minani, we put the ta marbuta. You see this ta marbuta, when it is added with something, it changes into long ta. Although it's ta marbuta just at the end. But when you add an alif after ta marbuta changes to long ta, mu'minatani. So mu'minatani, that means two believers, believing sisters. Mu'minatun, believing sisters, three and more. Mu'minatun. Mu'minatin, mu'minatun, believing sisters. Okay. Mu'minataini, two believing sisters in accusative and adjective form. No. هذا كلام من مؤمنتين. This pen is from two sisters. Two sisters who gifted you, so mu'minataini. Or mu'minatin from sisters. Mu'minatin. So this is, if you master this table and understand what I've done, I've expanded this table for you. This is exactly the same table what appears in our text, but what I've done, I expanded it. So if you see the table which you have got on page 44 about Muslim, this is same as that. But here, for example, 1, 2, there are four columns. In our case, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I added 2 columns. One column for definite, and one column for cases. You see? Otherwise, same. You see? So what I've done is that I added a column for definite case and also showing that what is the nominative, what is the genitive. So this table is same as what is on page 44, except that we added 2 more tables to just explain things better. Any questions? Okay, so the same thing what we discussed is now put in a descriptive way. This is the table. If you can master this table and understand, that is the best way. But then we also put in words. For example, there it is. So this is nominative, accusative, genitive. Do you see? So nominative, accusative, these are color coded. This is yellow, this is red and blue, right? So these cases are indicated on the Arab. That is vowel signs on the last letter, right? On the last letter of a singular and a broken plural nouns, or letters suffixed to sound, dual, and plural nouns. So we come to know whether a case is nominative, accusative, genitive through indications, okay? How it comes, I have told you, right? For nominative, either it is default or because of what mubtada or khabar. For accusative, we said it begins with inna or anna, or for example, it is a direct object. For genitive, we said it begins with preposition, is preceded by preposition, or it is mudaf ilayh. These are the cases we've done, right? So, but how is it, what are the signs, what shows indicated by vowel signs on the last letter of a singular and a broken plural nouns, or letters suffixed to sound and dual nouns? No. So for singular and broken plurals, nominative is indicated by dhamma or dhammatain, accusative is indicated by fatha or fathatain, and genitive is indicated by kasra or kasratain, right? So this is what we are saying, is what we mean here. It is indicated by dhamma, dhammatain, fatha, fathatain, kasra, kasratain. You see? So what you find here is just explained in words here. Okay. Nominative cases are indicated by waw, sakin, and nun fatha on masculine sound plural, and alif and ta dhamma on feminine sound plurals nouns, right? So here it is. You see, waw, sakin, nun fatha, and alif and ta. I'll put the matin here, but also dhamma can also be there sometimes if it is indefinite, right? So that is what is alif and ta, dhamma. On accusative and genitive cases are indicated by ya sakin nun fatha on masculine sound plurals and alif and ta kasra and feminine sound plurals. Okay, so here it is. There you see ya sakin nun fatha or alif and ta kasratain or ta kasra. Okay. And then you said here nominative cases are indicated alif in dual, in sound dual. Okay, alif and nun kasra and ya and nun kasra. This is dual and this is masculine, dual feminine. So the same thing, what you find in this slide is taken from this table. But we have just described this table into saying how they are indicated. Subhanallah. Honorable definite, indefinite. Anybody can answer this? Somebody ask question. What is the definite, indefinite? Anybody can offer that? Anybody would like to answer? The question is, please explain definite, indefinite.
So indefinite can be any noun, and
Yes.
and then definite is specific noun. For example, my name is Zara, so it's one. There's one Zara, but women can be any woman.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So definite is specific, right? The book. Indefinite is a book. Simple as that, right? And this was one amongst the first lessons we did, right? So you'll see that definite is a specific. We put in English the word the, in Arabic we put alif and lam. So kitabun, a book. Al-kitabu means the book. Qalamun, a pen. Al-qalamu, the pen. Is that clear? Did I answer the question, Anubai? I can't hear you. Can you switch on your mic? You can unmute yourself. Okay, if you can't do it, you can just put the question in it. Okay, I'm having issues with my mic. Okay, sorry, no problem. You can ask the question in the chat. You can ask your answer in the question, I'll answer. Okay, so definite, indefinite is something which we did quite earlier, maybe lesson 1 or 2. Okay, any other questions? So this was a quick revision. Again, keep in mind, we have not covered all the cases of nominal cases. Okay, we'll come over time. When you come to lesson 22, you can see there are 8 cases, and within one case, there are 5 cases. Almost 13 cases are there. We'll come to it later on. Let me see what question you put there. Okay, good. That's fine. Okay. So we continue. Okay, now we come to the homework. Anybody would like to start telling us the verses? So then we'll open the Quran. The question was 5 verses in which the body parts of human being are mentioned, and 3 verses in which the body part of animals are mentioned. Anybody? To start with, give me the verse number. Anybody can say, just give the verse number. We are going to open the Quran and check it.
545.
Okay,
Surah
545.
Ma'idah.
Okay, let's go to Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayat number 45. All of you are there, then we'll start discussing. Go to Surah Al-Ma'idah, open the Quran, Surah number 5, ayat number 45. Please open the Quran, provided you are Hafiz the Quran, otherwise keep it. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillah. You will tell us, sister, what are those words, okay? وكتبنا عليهم فيها أن النفس بالنفس والعين بالعين والأنف بالأنف والأذن بالأذن والسن بالسن والجروح قصاص من تصدق به فهو كفارة له ومن لم يحكم بما أنزل الله أولئك هم الظالمون. Yes, one by one, tell us what are the bodily parts mentioned in this ayat. See the Arabic and its translation. Anybody? Bismillah, please.
Al-Aina.
Al-Aina bil-Aini. Wal-Aina bil-Aini. What does it mean?
An eye for an eye.
Yeah. So you know what is the ayat talking about, right? That in Islam, God forbid if somebody punches you and you lose your eye or you hurt your eye, Islam allows you to also punch him or her such that he or she also gets the hurt on the eye. So aina bil aini, an eye for an eye. Okay. So this is, in fact, before that it says katabna alayhim fiya an nafsa bil nafsi. Even before eye, no, it says a life for a life. If somebody takes life of your child, then you, as the heir of the child or the father of the child, right, or son of the child, you also can demand a life. Okay, a nafsa bin nafsi. So this is allowed, no? وَكَتَبْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ. We have prescribed or we have decreed on them. Okay, al nafsa bin nafsi wal ayna bil ayni. Next one.
Can I go?
Yes.
This is surah number.
No, the same ayat. First, let's finish this ayat.
Oh, sorry.
We'll go next ayat. This ayat, first, finish. Al-aina bil-ain, another is what?
Nose, with nose.
Yeah. Wal-anfa
Bilanfi.
bil-anfi, right? A nose for a nose. Wal-udhuna bil-udhuni.
Ear.
An ear for an ear, okay? Was-sinna bis-sinni. A tooth for a tooth. Wal-juruha qisas, right? And retaliation for wounds. It's just a wound. But at the same time, you can see the Quran, what it says. فَمَنْ تَصَدَّقَ بِهِ فَهُوَ كَفَارَةٌ لَهُ, right? Whoever remits it out of charity, that shall be an atonement for him. No? So you are also given that option, an opportunity that no, not necessarily that you should hurt somebody's eye. If you can just charge him some money, or for example, charity, that also is fine. It's okay. That okay, because you have hurt, for example, me with an eye, I will charge you certain amount. No, not necessarily that I'll take your eye. No, so you can say, right? وَمَنْ لَحَكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ. But however, who does not judge by what Allah has sent down, then these are the wrongdoers. Okay, so this is a judgment being talked about. Yes, Sister Nagma, go to another ayat.
I have
Yeah. Surah
This-
Mu'minun, ayat number 14.
Which surah number?
Surah number 14. Surah number 14. Surah is surah number 23.
Surah 8, surah number
23.
23, okay.
And ayat number 14.
14, okay. So 23, 14. Let's go to 23, 14. Yes, Bismillah.
Okay, so should I go like
Yes, Bismillah, yeah.
like go just a translation or the Arabic?
See the Arabic and also translation.
Okay, just give me 1 second. 14. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Summa khalaqna nutfatin alaqatin fa khalaqna alaqata musghatan fa khalaqna musghata izaman fa kasuna izama lahma summa ansha'nahu khalaqan akhara fatabarakallahu ahsanul khaliqin.
Okay, good. So word by word, tell us what is the word?
So, and then we made the seed a clot. Then we made the clot a lump of flesh. Then we made in the lump of flesh bones. Then we clothed the bones with flesh. Then we caused it to grow into another creation. So blessed be the Allah, the best of the creators.
So you see, so all these are parts of the body you can see. Allah mentions them, all this, right? How the creation is started from different. And keep in mind, today we know the science, it has given all these kind of pictures and all the, growth, ways, because right, people are always interested when when a woman is, for example, pregnant, she would like to know how the child is doing, how the fetus is doing, how the fetus is developing. So because of the health of the fetus, the technology has improved so much. There are cameras and all those things we know, right? But Quran is telling us 1400 years ago, when there were no cameras, none of this science, in fact, no, the Quran is telling us all these stages. And even after all the science which has developed and progressed, nobody is defined. Nobody has said that Quran has given the wrong information. No, they try to understand the modern science in light of this thing, right? So subhanallah, you can see all these stages of growth Quran is telling us. But 1400 years ago, when there were no camera, there was no advancement in medicine at that time, subhanallah. So, but of course, coming to our point, that these are all parts of the body. Anybody else? Next ayat.
Can I do one?
Bismillah. Which ayat number?
Surah Yasin, so 36:8.
Okay, Surah 36, ayat number 8. Okay, let's go to Surah number 36, ayat number 8. Bismillah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna khalaqna fi agnakihim
Inna ja'alna.
Inna ja'alna fi a'nakihim aglalan fahiya ilal adqani fahum muhmahun.
Yeah.
So in here you have the word neck.
Mhm. Which
I
word is
think
neck in
it's,
Arabic? Which Arabic word is neck
I
here?
am not 100% sure, but I think it's A'lalan.
A'anakihim.
Nakihim. Okay.
Unuk, you can see is there, right? Because we were supposed to compare. If you go back to our table on page, right? If you go to page 50, see if you can get a neck there. So if you see the page 50,
Oh, that's right.
the
Yeah, we
table,
had a whole
table left
list.
table, right? Unukun
Yeah,
wa
there was a
anakun.
whole
Do you see
list.
it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a
So,
whole list. Weird. Yeah.
good. So anak is a next, is a plural, unukun. Aghlanan is chains, okay? So there is nothing but no.
Right. And then
Yeah,
the
and
word
then
is, the next word is chins.
Azkan. Yeah, Asan. Okay.
And
So
and they're,
again,
and then the heads.
yeah. No, the head is not there. It's just Mahmud. It's just their heads are pictured. No, so actually Mahmud does not say anything about. It just talks about the state of the head. It's not literal translation of the head. Mahmud is not the translation of the head. Okay, there is just a state the way it would be. For example, when a person, Allah says that when there will be as a punishment, if somebody will be put a chain here on the neck, right? It will be so much tight that he will not be able to move this way, this way, this way. So mukmahun, then the head will be just up ahead. Now their position will be like that, up head over. This is just a state of the head. But the word mukmahun does not mean the word head. Okay. So
Okay.
and you are students of Quran. As I told you, that either understand this thing or otherwise, as last time I told you, invest in a no, I wanted to give a site. Right? There was a site I gave you word by word, Quran, word by word,
Yeah.
Quran, WBW. If you go there, it gives the meaning of every word there.
Yeah.
Quran, WBW, word by word. Quran, WBW.com. If you go, it gives you word by word. Remember, I also showed you earlier, if you see, we had a slide. Let me share with you. Just I did, for example, if you see this slide back, do you see this thing? This was from Quran, www. See, in al Muslim al Muslimat. So every word here has been translated. You see, there's a translation and also there's a transliteration. So this website is good. Or you can have a printed Quran word by word, which I did showed you in one of the class. Yes, anybody else would like to give another ayat of Quran?
I go.
Bismillah.
For Surah Qiyamah, verses 3 and 4, Surah 75.
Surah 75. So let's go to Surah number 75. Ayat number?
3 and 4.
Okay, Bismillah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أيحسب الإنسان أن لن نجمع عظامه بلى قادرين على أن نسوي بنانا. So in verse 3, like in the other surah that we've looked at before, Aidama means bones and
Yes.
banana means fingertips.
Yes. Okay, Izamahu and bananahu. So what is here bone and what is other thing? It's Izamahu and bananahu. So what is bone here and what is other thing attached to it?
It's possessive
Is a pronoun, right?
pronoun.
Izamahu,
Oh, yes.
his bones, right? His bones. Bananahu, his fingertips. Do you see? So izam is a bone, and then who is a pronoun attached to it. Izamahu, his bones. Banana is fingertips. Bananahu, his fingertips. Okay. So as students, I want you to be very, very particular because every small thing you observe that and differentiate and see how things are there. I'll show you when next slide when what I have done 5 of ayat. I'm going to show with you, and I have divided this thing. I'll put a division between these two words to make sure that what means what. So you are now the students of Quranic Arabic. Everything you should very much closely look at it. So Izamahu, his bone. So Izam is a bone, but who is attached to it? Bananahu, again his fingertips. Banana is fingertip, and who is a pronoun, yes. Anybody else would like to give one more ayat?
Surah Balad, ayah number 8 and 9.
Okay.
Surah number
Surah number?
90.
Okay. Surah number 90, Balad, ayat number 8 and 9. Bismillah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alam naj'al lahu 'aynayn wa lisanan wa shafatayn. So 2 eyes, a tongue, and 2 lips.
Yeah.
Aynayn.
Very good. So you can see, Alam naj'alahu aynayni. Did we not made up for him 2 eyes? Walisanan, a tongue, and 2 lips, shafatain. So do you see, as we say that we have taught you accusative, right? One of the accusative is what? Direct object. We did earlier, right? One of way to get accusative is direct object. So here you can see lisanan. Do you see lisanan? This is a tongue. Why it is accusative? Because it's direct objective. Allah says, Alam naj'al lahu aynayni. Did we not make for him 2 eyes? So ayn is singular. Aynan is 2 eyes. Two eyes. Okay. Ayn is 1 eye. Aynan, you can see mu'minan. Right. So aynun. Now here will be aynani. Right. But because it is 2, no, I will say aynayni. Mu'minaini. Because aynayni. Why it is aynayni? It is accusative. Why it is accusative? Because it is an object. Did we not create for him 2 eyes? Walisanan, and a tongue, which is accusative. Washafatain. Again, shafatan becomes shafatain because it is accusative. Do you see? Dual. So alam naj'alahu aynaini walisan wa shafatain. Good. Okay. Now I want to next question. 3 verses which have the bodily parts of animals. Anybody would like to come forward? Give me the ayat number and we'll open that ayat and read together.
Surah
Which is the parts
Nahl,
of the animals.
Surah
This is
Nahl, ayah number 66. Surah number 16, ayah 66.
okay, 16, 66. Okay, so let's go to Surah 16, ayat 66. In my print of page, it is page 430. Bismillah, Saida.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإن لكم في الأنعام لعبرة نسقيكم مما في بطونه من بين فرث ودم لبنا خالصا سائغا للشاربين.
Which
There is
ayat number is this?
66.
66?
Yes.
Hold on. 1666 is not that one. Oh, no, 16, sorry. Hold on. Okay. I was wrong. Okay. Yes, Bismillah. Yeah, go ahead.
There is indeed a lesson for you in the cattle. We give you a drink pleasant to those who drink pure milk, which is in their bellies between intestinal waste and blood. So we have butunihi, like
Yes.
the belly or the stomach.
Yes.
And then we have parathin,
Yes.
I think that is the waste. And then we have wadamin, which is blood.
Yes. Okay, good. And also Lebanon, right? Pure milk.
Yeah, Lebanon would be milk.
Yes, yes. That's good. Okay, it's also from animal. Anybody
Yes.
else? Any other ayat? Thank you. Any other ayat which is animal parts in the Quran?
I can go.
Bismillah. I want all of you to participate, please. You know, it's very important. This was not a difficult homework which you could have done easily. Yes, Bismillah.
It's Surah Anam, Surah number 6, and ayat number is 146.
Okay, 6:146, right? 6:146. Bismillah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I need to find the ayat. Give me
Yeah,
one
no problem. Take your time.
46. 46. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعلى الذين هادوا حرمنا كل ذي ظفر ومن البقر والغنم حرمنا عليهم شهومهما إلا ما حملت ظهورهما أو الهوى أو ما اختلط بأزم ذلك جزيناهم ببغيهم وإنا لصادقون.
Mhm.
And this is mentioned the prohibition for Jewish people of animals with undivided hoofs, the fat of oxen and sheep, except that what is attached to their back, intestine, or mixed with bones.
Okay, so you see all those parts are there. Good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It is very important. Please, as I said, if you do this homework, it will really help you. It will force you to look at this ayat and dissect all those words. Understand? It's very, very important. Okay, so let me just show, and as I told always that I don't only give homework, I do also myself. It takes time. It takes time for me, but I do that because I want to be fair on you that also I do it. And plus, not only that, I also learn. The beauty about the Quran is that every time you read the Quran, some new message comes to you. Because there's a hadith that Quran is a living book, right? So it's a living book. So these are the ayat which I got for you. So here it is. So what I did first of all is this we already discussed. Alam naj'al lahu aynayni wa lisana wa shafatayn, right? We did. Kitabun unzila ilayka fala yakun fi sadrika. Do you see sadr? Right? If you go to the list, sadr is there, right? There's a third on page 50, left column. The third one is sadr, which is chest, right? So it is. Kitabun unzila ilayka fala yakun fi sadrika. You can see sadrika. What I did, I separated sadr and ka. Did you see this thing? Because sadr is the word which we are looking for. Ka is the pronoun. Okay, and pronoun is always attached, right? So this is pronoun attached. So I have separated it to make it sure that even for example, here, walisanan, I've separated wow, washafatain, I've separated wow again. To make sure that this is what we are looking for. As students, I want you to be the key, very precise in what is doing, okay, what's happening. Then here it is. And then there is sadr, there is also sudur. Kul in tukfu ma fi sudurikum. If you are going to conceal what is in your chest, in your hearts. So this sadr, this sudur, again the same, page 50, sadr is singular, sudur is plural, okay? So fi sudur, what is in your hearts? Kul in tukfu ma fi sudurikum aw tubduhu ya'lamu Allah. Subhanallah, it's a beautiful ayah. Allah says that if you try to conceal what is in your chest, or even if you try to manifest, make it manifest, known, or ya'lamullah. Now, whether you hide it or if you open it, Allah is aware of it. Nothing is there from him. Not only that, Allah also knows what is in the heavens and the earth. Wallahu ala kulli shayin qadir. See? So Allah is talking about His power and His knowledge, right? He's always knowing. Khulika mimma in dafik. So a human being has been born from mind dafi, a fluid which comes out with force, right? This is referring to sperm, right? In mind dafi. يخرج من الصلب والترائب, right? It comes between sulb and taraib, right? You can see. So if you backbone and trail, right? So this is where it coming from. Subhanallah, you can see Quran how precisely mentions that where it comes from. يخرج من الترائب. ولما جاء رسول من عند الله مصدق لما معهم نبذ فريق من الذين اوتوا الكتاب والله وراء ظهورهم. اوتوا كتاب الله وراء ظهورهم كأنهم لا يعلمون. So they just cast the book of Allah behind their back. ظهورهم. Again, zuhur is the plural. Zuhurihim, I have separated that. You see here? Zuhurihim. So these are the verses of Quran, Surah number 90, Surah number 7, the numbers are here, okay? These are the number verses, but the Surah number is 90, 7, 3, 86, and 2, okay? And then these are the verses which comes here. وَاللَّهُ وَجَلَكُمْ مِنْ بُيُوتِكُمْ سَكَنًا وَجَلَكُمْ مِنْ جُلُودِ الْأَنْعَامِ جُلُودِ الْأَنْعَامِ. What? The skins of the animal. بُيُوتًا تَسْتَخِفُونَهَا يَوْمَ. Now this is about aswafiha, awbariha, ash'ariha, right? So if you go to ayat number 80, Surah 16, right? There's an interesting point I would like to point out. No. So ayat 16, now there is, let me just change here the color. Ayat number 6, Surah number 16, ayat number 80. Okay, let's go to ayat number 80. See, Jurud al-An'am means what? The skins of cattle. And then we are told, min aswa, or no, and out of their wool, min aswafiha, suf, right? Or bariha, and fur, or sharia, in their hair, right? Asas and utanhim, furniture and wares for you. So Allah is telling us that we have created animals for you, and its uses you can imagine, even at that time. You can use its fur, you can use its no hair, you can use its wool. Do you see? And not only that, see the interesting thing here. First of all, let me change this color because this should be this ha. Okay, so we go back to. Now, what does this ha refer to? Aswaf fiha, awariha, washa. What is ha referring to?
It's a pronoun.
Referring to
A
The
cattle.
animal.
animals. Animals. Jurudul an'ami, the skin of the cattle, right? So it refers to the cattle. So interesting that an'am, which is cattle, right? When it comes to, although it is plural, we just use a feminine because ha is a feminine, right? Ha is a third person feminine. Is that correct? Who is a third person singular, masculine, but ha is a third person singular feminine, right? Kitabuha means her book. Kitabu means his book. So when it comes to, this is a very important rule, keep in mind. What is anam? Is it a sound plural or broken plural?
Broken.
Broken plural, right? So broken plural, when it comes to, when you refer to broken plural, it is referred as singular feminine. Allah doesn't say, no, awsafihuma, awsafihinna. Doesn't say awbarihinna. Doesn't say asharihinna. Just say awsafiha, awbariha, ashariha. Their wool, their fur, and their hairs. You benefit from their wools, you benefit from their furs, benefit from their hairs. So this an'am, which is a broken plural, and which is plural, right? But when we refer to it, it referred as a singular feminine. So awsafiha, her, literally it means her, what you can say her fur, right? But you can see here in the meaning, they say, if you see in the meaning, what Ali Kurikrai says, and out of their wool, fur and hair. He has used their, ha. Although he says ha because it refers to animals, cattle, but in Arabic, we just use ha instead of hunna or ha, no, keep in mind. So this will come later on that the broken plural is referred in a pronoun as a singular feminine. Okay. And here one more point I want to say before, and this is ayat number 19, Surah 31. Let's go to Surah 31, ayat number 19. Surah 31, which is Luqman, ayat number 19, okay?
Sorry, what ayah number?
Surah 31, ayat 19, 1-9. So this is Luqman giving advice to his son. And because he was wise, Allah liked his advice that has become part of the Quran. Do you see? وَقْسِدْ فِي مَشِّكَ وَغْضُضْ مِنْ صَوْتِكَ. He says that the translation says that be modest in your bearing and lower your voice. In Ankar Aswati, indeed, the ugliest of voices or ungainless voices is the donkey's voice or braying of a donkey, right? Do you see this? So I have said Aswat and Sautul Humir, all these are red. Why do you think I put this Saut as yellow? Both means voice. Why do you think I've colored them separately?
Because in the first instance, it's not referring to the salt of the donkey. It's referring to.
Very good. This is what I want. Yeah, this is referring to, because Luqman is talking to his son. So he says, Wagdum Sautika, lower your voice. So here, which voice he's talking about? The voice of his son. Lower your voice. No? So whenever we talk with people, it's always good to keep the voice low. Right? Quran has told us, but we forget about it. I'm not telling about you, I'm talking about myself also. That even sometimes I forget about it, I raise my voice. No support. Wagdus min Sautika. Make sure that you lower your voice. Then he said, Inna anta aswati la sautul hamir. This braying of a donkey, this is not like, so don't try to raise your voice like a donkey. Inna ankal aswati la sautul hamir. So this is what I want to say. And of course, the next ayat, which is there, 146, has already discussed by the sister, one of the sisters, right? So these are some of the things which we collected. And again, I request you all that please, when homework is given, do try to do them, share with your colleague. It will really help you. Okay. Before we end today, we couldn't get into the next lesson, but before we end, I just want to ask you one thing. This is the 5th session. Okay, next Wednesday is the last session. We want to plan to have one more course after Ramadan, but before Muharram. So we've got Shawwal, Dhul-Qa'dah, and Dhul-Hajj. So between Shawwal and Dhul-Qa'dah, we'll have 6 weeks of the course. Okay, what I want you to let me know, either through email or or administrative secretary, webmaster is going to email you in the poll. Thank you for participating in the poll. Now, inshallah, you'll have the recordings live because you voted for that, some of you. So please let us know. Should we start immediately, for example, on the 6th of Shawwal, 1 week within Eid, or should we start on that, should we start on the 6th of Shawwal or later on? Yeah, 6th Shawwal, what was the question here? By the time, yeah. So should we start immediately after 6th Shawwal or thereafter? And do you want on Tuesday or Wednesday? So I'm going to send you a poll. Please try to participate, okay? If you are intending to, here it is, yeah. Should we continue the having classes on Wednesdays or Tuesdays? The only thing that on Wednesdays, once a month, I have to attend ulama meetings. Keep that in mind. Should we begin the class on the 5th or 12th of Shawwal, Tuesday, or 6th or 13th of Shawwal, Wednesday? This is the question. So only 2 things will be asked. One is, should we continue on Wednesdays instead of Tuesdays? And secondly, is that, should we start 5th of Shawwal? That means within 4 days after Eid, or do we want more time after Eid, 12th of Shawwal, okay? And keep in mind that by the time when we start the next course after Ramadan, the time would have changed. So for example, on, 6th of Shawwal, which is 25th of March, the time of namaz will be 8:49 p.m. Okay, on 13th of May. And then on 25th of March, the time is 7:51. So it will be, of course, time will change. So we'll start our class either on 7 p.m. or 6:45 p.m. These are the things you should be ready to answer when the poll is sent. Please try to participate in the poll so we know. As you know, our rule that if we should have at least 10 students to continue the course. Any questions? we could not do the lesson number 17, but inshallah we'll start with that.
Just a quick question
Yes, go ahead.
about the ayat we read it earlier, 545, where we have this bil walane bil aine walanfa bil anfi. So wal aine we have zabar walaina, bil aine we have zer. This is because of wal and bil. Wal
Okay.
anfa we have zabar, wal anfi we have zer.
Hold on. 545.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't switch on your video.
Oh, okay, 1 minute.
Okay, we come to you. فكتبنا عليهم فيها أن النفس بالنفس والعين بالعين. Yes, because the first one is just فكتبنا, okay, that we have prescribed. We prescribe first of all life for life and eye for eye. So that is wow is after nafs. So والعين. So that is an accusative. That accusative is a direct object والعين. Bil aini, because of preposition ba, becomes bil aini. So wal aina bil aini. Okay. So the first one is accusative, wal aina, because it is a direct object, and bil aini it is genitive because there is a preposition ba.
Okay.
Okay. In the same way, you can see earlier, anna nafsa wal aini. So even for example here, wal aina could also because of anna, because of anna nafsa bin nafsi. After that, there is wow. So the same anna will apply also to ain. For example, remember we did earlier that 33, 35, it was innal muslimina wal muslimat. Because of inna, it continued throughout accusative. So because of inna, you came inna nafsa is a fatha, bin nafsi because of preposition ba. Wal aina, so the same that anna also applies to ain. So wal aina bil aini. Wal anfa bil anfi. Wal udhuna bil udhuni. In all these cases, you can see fatha kasra, fatha kasra. So first one is because of accusative, because of inna. The second one is the genitive because of preposition ba.
Yep. Okay.
Any other questions?
Yep. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, inshallah. So next week we'll show you the last week class, and you will receive a poll. Please do that. And there's also a short homework with this, which will be posted by tomorrow, inshallah. So tomorrow you'll find both the slides and also recording will be there posted on our website. अच्छा, खुदा हाफिज, इल्तिमास दुआ,
Bye.
इल्तिमास दुआ, खुदा हाफिज,
खुदा हाफिज, जज़ाकल्लाह।
खुदा हाफिज,
Hafiz.
खुदा हाफिज.
Thank you.